We've got 14 attractions where our guests will be required to wear a mask. We're not able to run fast track through the course of the season.
Are there any plans at the moment for Fright Nights going forwards, or?
At the moment we're... Hi guys, my name's Russ. I'm the Commercial Director here at Thorpe Park Resort, and I'm back with TheJackSilkstone to take him around the resort and show you all the brand new measures that we've got in place to keep you all safe when we finally reopen for the 2020 season. I guess one of the first things you'll see is yellow is a big colour for us for this season, which wasn't necessarily part of our plans back in March. Yellow dots are everywhere, okay. So that's the order of the day. So one person or maybe a small group per dot, and that's across all of our queues, rides, F&B, retail,
even starts outside the park.
Right at the very start.
People are getting their tickets.
We start off with a ticket. Yeah. New for this year, these are going to be introduced anyway this year, but we've got our automatic ticket machines which will speed up our guest entry on the way into resort. People can pick up or buy their tickets on the way in, and naturally we've added the extra screens in to keep the social distancing. And our normal ticket kiosks are here with the plexiglass screens. Again, you'll see plenty of that as we go through the resort with various sections as well.
So previously you had people queuing in here, I presume?
That's all going to be outside.
Okay, yeah. So although the park have put in these awesome new self-serve machines, the current message is to pre-book before you come to guarantee entry.
For 2020, before COVID-19 came, we were ready to open in March with a refreshed look. I talked about that last time I saw you.
Yeah.
We've kind of finished off some of the bits and pieces here for the beginning. Again, more yellow dots everywhere, with our signage advising guests what to do before they come in with our procedures. We've got two ways of entry, whether you've got bags or whether you don't have bags, so we can get you into the resort as quickly but as safely as possible.
So presumably bags will be down the sides?
Yeah, bags are either of the two sides, and then you'll queue, hopefully not for too long, and then straight into our bag search areas as normal. And then the bagless queue is straight down the middle. Whether you've got bags or no bags, you will still get temperature checked, which is on the other side.
Which we're going to go and try out now.
Okay, so each and every one of our guests and our staff and our partners, everybody onto site, including hotel guests, will get their temperature checked on the way in. It's quick, simple, painless, no problems at all, and I'm just going to do you right now. Yeah, that's fine. You're good to go. Easy as that.
Let's head into the park then.
Okay, so we're not quite in the park yet, we're nearly there, it's in touching distance. As you can see on the floor, we've got our social distance markers here to distance our guests out in 2 metre spacing before they get to the turnstiles. We're using every other turnstile, as you can clearly see, marked out on the floor, and then once you're good to go, you're in the island.
With annual passes, will they just be able to scan at the
Yes, they'll be able to scan them as normal, and there'll be plenty of staff on hand as well.
Awesome.
Sign says, no paper maps. It's deliberate this year. We've taken away our paper maps, relying totally on our app, which is a brilliant app anyway.
You've got the barcode there that you can scan and get it downloaded.
Right there, it's got all the information, including all the queue times, obviously, as well. And yeah, it's just one less interaction.
Yeah.
As a general rule, across the resort, if there's some narrow pathways, we're saying to keep left where possible.
Okay.
There's a couple of exceptions to that, where we ask to keep right where we need to for operational reasons. Everything will be very clearly marked on the floor with arrows.
Okay.
Try to think of every possible detail that we can. We don't really want our guests to dwell on the bridge. We want to keep moving for social distancing. So our awesome wakeboarders that we've got right here, we've actually asked them to not go under the bridges at the peak times at the beginning, at the end of the day. You'll still be able to see them from a distance, and that during the peak times at the beginning and the end of the day, they'll be slightly further afield.
So we're now taking a walk down to the hotel reception for the Thorpe Park cabins.
Our hotel guests will come down here. We've got some designated waiting spots here, again socially distanced, keep everyone nice and safe. They'll wait here, they'll be called forward. We've made our hotel reception one way, so in one door out the other. We've got waiting spots inside as well, just in case the weather is a little inclement. And you'll see we've got the plexiglass screens in there as well, just to keep our team and our guests safe.
Yeah, and presumably with the hotel rooms, you'll be deep cleaning them after each stay. We've
got enhanced cleaning procedures in there. We've been working very closely with our third-party partner who come in and service the rooms for us. They're making sure that they're cleaning our rooms all to the government guidance, and we've tried to think of every single possible detail, like quarantining the toilet rolls in for 3 days between each visit and things like that, just to make sure that absolutely everybody wants a clean toilet roll. So we've tried to think of everything. We used to, so even to the items in the room as well, so with the teas and coffees, and used to be in sachets and shampoos and soaps. When our guests check in, they'll be given all of those in a paper bag for their sessions, so our guests can be confident that they're quarantined, they're clean, they're fresh, and they haven't been touched by any other guests. We've thought about our guest check-in journey and check-out journey, so we've tried to move as much of that onto digital as possible, just to limit the time, even during the check-in process. So we think we've got our check-in process now down to about a 60-second interaction, just to get it through. So all of our guests will receive all of the information that they need for the resort before they arrive through email, 7 days and then 48 hours before their visit. We will then take all their details, so we know when they're going to come and arrive on site, and then we will, when they come to check in, their bag will be ready, their room key will be ready, and it will be a really quick, simple process. And obviously we'll be here to ask any questions. Checkout is automatic, so at 10 o'clock the next day is our checkout time. That's all done automatically, so all our guests need to do is drop their key off in the drop box on the way out and enjoy their day on the resort. There's no need to come into the reception.
That's great to hear. It seems like everything's just being made even easier for the guests.
It's made us think about all of our processes as well. Obviously we will miss, we're still here, we still want to have that guest interaction where we can with our guests. It's not about making everything automated, but we're here for our guests if they need us. So last time we were here, we were making the finishing touches. There was a bit of mess in the middle of the dome. We're filming this a couple of days before opening, so there's still some finishing touches to be going on around the resort. But we're nearly there now. We're almost there, and we've made lots of improvements.
Yeah, we've got our last time we were here,
al fresco dining, and this is really important. So this will give us much needed capacity for our hotel guests again, and it reserves it for our hotel guests to make sure that they're always guaranteed a seat for breakfast and for dinner as well. As I'm sure you know, we work very closely with our partners HP Leisure. They operate all of our games and arcades across pretty much nearly every Merlin attraction. They've been fantastic with supporting us on getting us COVID-19 secure. So they've put in lots of measures, just like we have in terms of hand sanitizers, taping off certain bays and machines, so some will be in operation, some won't be, and lots of clear signage around the area as well. As part of the regulations, we also need to be careful about the volume, because as part of the government guidance, we can't have anything too loud, which would encourage shouting or raising your voice, because that could increase the transition of it. So we've been going around with our sound meters to make sure that all of the sound, and that's just in the games, but across the whole resort, will be at the legally acceptable level.
Things like that I would not ever think of.
Again, just reinforcing all of the messages in terms of masks, and obviously since we filmed the last time, we've had some updated guidance, so where wearing a face mask will be mandatory on the majority of our rides on the resort. So we've been updating all of our signage, our procedures for that, to make sure our staff are aware, and obviously, as we talked about last time, we'll have plenty of masks available to sell in the shops.
Are they in stock ready for opening?
So they arrived about 2 hours ago. That one or at least our first batch, we're going to have more that comes through for July. So that one you saw me wear earlier was the first one. So actually very happy to say that you will be the second person to
thank you very much.
With mine.
Look at that.
Compliments.
Thank you very much, Russ. Colossus is on a 5-minute queue. I'm off for a ride. Let's go.
See you later.
For Infinity, we're just doing the last couple of updates from when I last saw you. So the guys are in there literally today finishing off. We've got the lighting in there. You can see our new barriers out the front here. We've got our music station that's gone in. And we're all ready to go.
Is that
for
the karaoke
Saturday.
machine?
The karaoke, the famous karaoke.
Is it in?
Which clearly got a few comments last time. I don't know if they were quite serious or not, but I don't mind. I'll be there. Like I said last time, actually, I think one of the best views in Merlin.
Oh, absolutely.
You've got all the steel there, all the metal that you can see pretty much in one. It's a brilliant view, but we will encourage our guests to experience it close up and not dwell for too long here as they come out the dome, because again, we don't want too many big groups of people in one spot.
And looking at all of these rides, as you mentioned earlier, you will have to wear a face mask on some of them, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking me which rides that is, so do you have the answer?
Indeed. So we have 14 attractions. If they open, that we will require our guests to wear a face covering on throughout the course of their ride. There are the 7 roller coasters and also most of our flat rides as well, such as Vortex and Samurai. Some of our more family rides, such as Dodgems, Mr. Monkey's Banana Ride, and the Teacups as well, will also require a face covering. Basically any ride that you would be potential to scream on.
Yeah, so if you're coming to the park, bring a mask, be prepared, because you're going to need one for the ride.
Just another example of one of our grab and go units. So most of the units on the resort, apart from Infinity and KFC, will be opening with no seating. So those 2 units will have limited seating inside. The rest of them will be takeaway units that we've got available, but we've got plenty available, plenty of choice. Donut Factory, always a popular favourite. We'll see those ubiquitous yellow dots once again. We've got our plexiglass screen to keep our guests and our staff safe. You'll see the hand sanitizer, which will be at the beginning of the checkup point. And actually, we might actually have a couple of new products as well.
Oh, very nice.
You may want to help me out. And,
absolutely.
So this year we are selling donut balls in anti-bites. So we're trying to go for the theme of like rings versus balls. So we still have our original ring donuts.
A classic Thorpe Park
donut. We're going for a little
donut.
extra twist this year with donut balls as well.
Okay.
Feel free to try them.
Right, thank you very much.
There you go.
Awesome.
Thanks, Chantal.
No problem.
Thank you. Look at these. My first ever donut ball. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Good, yeah.
So we're here outside the Megastore. I'm still going to keep you waiting a little bit longer before I take you in there, Jack. I'm teasing you till open day on Saturday. But if anyone's ever been to IKEA, you'll know that you'll go around a store and you'll follow one long path.
Okay.
So that's how we're going to be doing it for 2020 in Megastore.
Okay.
It's again keeping our guests safe. It's a way that we can monitor and regulate how many guests that we can safely have in the store at any one time. There'll be clear entry and exits here. The other shutters will actually not be in use for entry or exit, and it's a way that we can control our guests.
Guest flow. Oh.
So every group of guests that go in, no more than 2, will actually be given a basket, a shopping basket as they go in. We're actually going to ask our guests to take that basket, even if they wouldn't normally take a shopping basket to go around. That's going to be our counting measure so we know how many guests that we've got in the store. When we run out of baskets, we know that the shop's full. Then when the shopping baskets come back round and we've got them available again, the next guest can go inside the store.
Is there a similar system to when we went to Chessington? If you touched anything, it goes in the basket?
It's exactly that.
Okay.
Yep, we've got the quarantine basket as well, which will be kept for 72 hours. If you change your mind or if you put something, just tell us, just leave it by the till point and we will take care of that at the end as well.
Okay, nice.
vegan vegetarian unit I teased last time. They're here, they're ready. Hopefully
now.
for Saturday they'll be up there and ready. Our partners, we met with them this morning, we signed off all their procedures, they're safe, they're good to go. So can't wait to try that out myself.
And even stuff like the arcade, it looks like that's going to be open.
Yeah, the arcade.
Similar to the one in the dome.
Absolutely, same measures as in the dome. Looked at the amount of people that we can have in there, the volume, where the machines are positioned, and plenty of staff on regular cleaning cycles around there as well.
Nice.
So of course some rides.
Yes.
We've got to look at some rides. Don't worry. I'm going to show you some rides. Don't worry. I won't do just shops and restaurants this time. So obviously we've got to think very, very long and hard about how we keep everybody safe for our rides and still have a great time as well. So every ride will be different, as you can imagine. So we'll do things such as like keeping every other seat free. Some rides you'll see may not have that many changes to the loading, such as Swarm, just because of the distance that we can achieve will actually be okay. Other rides will be a bit more limited, such as Stealth, where we'll have to do every other train.
One blanket rule because they are also different.
Exactly. So. Every single ride needs its own assessment to make sure that it's everybody's kept safe. But in broad strokes, we're looking at in terms of the queuing. We've got our yellow dots again going through every single queue line. Key information as to whether a ride, so this particular ride does require a face mask, and that will be displayed out the front of the ride. And hand sanitizer. These hand sanitizer units you will see absolutely everywhere. They will be at the beginning of the ride entrance of the queue line. They will be on the loading platform just before you get on the ride, and they will be on the exit of the ride as well. So there should be 3 points where you can sanitize your hands on every attraction that's open.
Okay, and quite a big question. Obviously, because of social distancing in the queues and stuff, I presume the resort has reduced capacity. So, what do you expect queues to be like? Will they be long? It's hard to tell.
I think with the capacities that we've put in, obviously we need to cap our capacity for safety as well as guest enjoyment. You know, it's like any time. I think that with the measures that we're putting in, I can't see the actual length of queue to be too different.
It'll kind of balance itself out.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear. So whilst we're here, Russ, I know a lot of people have been asking me what the process will be in terms of fast track now.
So as we were talking earlier, the capacities in the resort will be limited, so there'll be a lot fewer guests on the resort than our guests would expect, particularly during a July and August time anyway. So we're not able to run fast track through the course of the season. Certainly we're not going to open with it, but there won't be that much need for it either because of our social distancing measures and the limited capacities in the resort. The traditional queues will be in operation. So here we are on Nemesis station. Like I say, each ride will have its different operation. Our teams will be fully trained into keeping everybody, giving everybody a really safe ride. On some rides that could mean face visors as well as face masks. So for example, on this ride, the operator will need to make sure that the guests' lap bars are secure, and there's no way of doing that without getting fairly close, so they will be wearing a face mask and a face visor.
In terms of Nemesis specifically, will every row be loaded?
For this ride we will be running on a reduced capacity depending on where the seating is, on the group size, but this one will be reduced.
So over on my Instagram, I have asked a few of you guys to send me any questions that you have that are COVID and Thorpe Park related. So if that's all right, Russ, I'm just going to fire a few at you right now.
Go for it, try me.
I think the biggest one by far was Fright Nights related. It's hard to tell at the moment, I know, but are there any plans at the moment for Fright Nights going forwards, or?
At the moment, we're still planning for there to be a Fright Night product at the end of the year. It might look different from what it has looked like in previous years. As you know, it's actor led. It's
it's naturally going to be quite difficult.
Naturally, yes. I mean, we're in a very different world now from actors coming up screaming and shouting in your face, so that we can probably safely say that won't be a feature of it, whatever we do. But we will work really, really hard to put on still a world-class Fright Nights this October,
because it is absolutely the highlight of the year for a lot of people. So it's in the plans, it's being worked towards.
Yeah, we're thinking hard, you know, and again, it's a bit like everything else that we're doing in the resort. It's making us think a bit out the box and okay, what can we do a bit differently?
Which is probably a good thing.
So absolutely, you know, the Amity High dance show last year was quite popular, so you know, will there be things along those sort of lines? Who knows? There might be all sorts of other things that we can come up with.
Okay, I know it's a very tough question, but thank you for answering it. I'm sure people will appreciate that. So someone here has asked, are Thorpe Park still going to use the Coca-Cola freestyle machines across the park?
Yes, we are. They will be. Again, we've been working really hard with Coke to make sure that we provide a safe experience for Coke Freestyle and our guests, the vessels. I think the biggest change in the feature of those will be that we've had to remove the ice feature from the machines just for hygiene reasons, but the actual functionality of the machines will be operational. Might not be from our very first day, but they will certainly be up at some point this season.
Okay. So someone here has asked, do you have to wear the mask everywhere at the Thorpe Park Resort, or is it just on rides?
No, it will just be on the rides. We advise all of our guests to bring one with them because we have so many of our attractions where they are required to wear a face mask covering, but it's not mandated as to generally walk around the resorts from A to B.
If you'd like to, presumably you're
Absolutely,
more than welcome
of course, and you'll find our staff do that as well. So where our staff are behind plexiglass screens, they may not have to wear a mask, so don't be alarmed if you see our staff that aren't in them. Everything has been risk assessed to keep them safe and our guests. But we've said the same to our staff as we're saying to our guests. If you feel more comfortable with that, then that's absolutely fine.
And on top of that, there is a temperature check at the entrance. There are loads of things.
Absolutely, yeah. All of our staff are temperature checked. I am. You guys were when you came in today. Everybody on resort is temperature checked on the way in.
I don't know how well you'll be able to answer this, but someone's asked, will you be able to sit next to family members or people that you don't necessarily live with on rides?
So the same rules apply at Thorpe Park as they do outside for government guidance. So whenever you're watching this video, it could well change, but there'll be guidance around keeping to a family bubble or family unit. Sometimes you can mix with different households inside. Sometimes I think it's at the moment at the time of filming you can mix with one other household inside, but you can mix with up to 6 people outside. So there's all those different rules.
There are rules if you live alone.
Absolutely, so you might have declared yourself in a bubble if you live on your own.
Yeah.
So the rules here are we follow the government guidelines on that. So one other feature we haven't talked about yet is that the majority of our restaurants and retail units will actually be cashless this year. So we're seeing a lot in the UK high streets at the moment to encourage contactless payments. So that will be the case in the vast majority of our units this year. So do bring a bank card with you. Colossus is our only ride exit shop where all of the guests have to exit through the gift shop. However, we need to keep social distancing and make sure that there's no groups that gather inside. So the way we've accomplished that in here is change the layout of the store. So we're going to encourage our guests to come exit through the store and exit out the door straight away. We've turned our till point round. And now if you want anything from the store, you can just ask the staff member and we'll be happy to get it from you from the shelf if you want a drink or a snack or some of the merchandise as well.
So you can have a look and then
yes, well, from over here, you can have a look and see what you want and then we will be happy to serve you.
Okay. In terms of the ride photos, is that going to be a thing?
Yeah, we will be opening with Stealth, Swarm and Soar ride photography to start off with. and also our central production unit up in the dam as well.
Okay. So literally yesterday, a lot of eagle-eyed fans noticed Thorpe Park subtly put a brand new event for the year onto the website in the form of Oktoberfest. And I imagine you can't tell us too much, but...
Yes indeed, it's a bit of a teaser at the moment, but we are really excited just to show that we're still, you know, when we open, we're going to open with a bang. We're still, our events are what make us on the island. So yeah, really excited. It's the first time we've done it. So for the 3 weekends at the end of September and beginning of October, we're going to have a fantastic Oktoberfest event for during the day, and there'll also be some things in the evening as well. So watch out for more details.
It's great to hear. September's normally quite of a dead time for the park. Not a lot's normally going on, so
it'll bridge the gap between the peak of summer as we get ready for Fright Nights.
Good to hear. Very excited for Oktoberfest this year. So, in terms of ride access pass, how is that going to work moving forwards this season?
Yeah, we're still welcoming guests who require the ride access pass, so they will still collect it from the same areas they did before, which is island help and information. When they go to the rides where they're looking to use the pass, whereas they've always, often used the exit or a designated entrance, they'll either be the designated entrance, which could be either the fast track or the exit. But what we're doing this year is we've got the signage saying please wait here. We've just removed that slightly from the ride exit just to avoid that kind of that parcel of guests to maintain social distancing. But it'll be able for the staff to still see if someone's waiting, they're ready to ride, so we'll get to them straight away.
So we've even had to think about our car parking. So we've got a brand new car park system anyway this year, where guests will be required to enter in their vehicle registration number when they purchase a ticket, and then we will be aid for a quicker exit at the end of the day. Plus we've got an extra barrier. But when it actually comes to parking, when you arrive, we'll be asking our guests to park one space apart from each other. It'll all be directed by our team out in the car parks. That way they can keep their distance from other guests arriving at the same time. And then what we'll do later on in the day, we'll come back and we'll fill those spots back in when those previous guests are already safely in the resort.
Nice, social distancing even when you arrive.
Even in the cars.
So I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video today, and I hope many of your questions were answered. I want to say a massive thank you to Russ for showing us around again today, and for Thorpe Park for organising this filming day. And a big thank you to Kieran, who's behind the camera. Thank you very much for watching though, guys. I cannot wait to get back to the theme parks. I'm sure I'll see loads of you there. Thank you for watching. My name is TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.
Hey, nah, I ain't feeling that. You never proved me back. You never did jack, hold that. I think I'm waved, but I'm definitely not sure. I'm never washed up. I know I got more. Painting pictures with words, top drawer. Trying to find a middle ground is a lost cause. Yeah.